Welcome to Inside Voice, your behind the scenes take on the $150 billion home care industry. Here, it's not about the loudest voices or even polished headlines. It's about real stories, real challenges, and real insights from those shaping care every day. Join us as we cut through the noise, explore trends, and uncover what it takes to truly make a difference of the lives of those we care about. Inside Voice. Today, we're doing something really unique. We're capturing a moment in time that every veteran business owner remembers. And aspiring entrepreneurs, they want to understand it, but very few get to document it while they're living it. I'm joined by the team behind Preferred Care at Home of Denton, Texas, Douglas White, alongside husband and wife duo Joseph and Morgan Peters. We're catching this trio at a pivotal moment, month 4. The new business smell has definitely worn off, and the reality of home care in this industry has moved in. From the adrenaline of the very first billable hour to the steep learning curve of the non-medical home care industry, they've seen more in this first 90 days than most have seen in a year. They're go-getters, they're kind, and most importantly, they're doing it all for the right reasons. Today, we get the opportunity to peel back the curtain and see what it actually looks like to launch, survive, and thrive in the early days of the home care franchise. Thanks for being on the Inside Voice. I think this is, again, like my intro says, I think this is one of the coolest opportunities to almost create a shadow box of your journey. And you'll be able to look back on what we were talking about on, just over 60 days of operation and what we thought the own industry was going to be like and the business was and where we were at. So I think this is a really cool opportunity for, again, you guys, for the franchise system, but even the aspiring entrepreneurs, because I think one of the questions that they have is, what do the early days look like? And I hope to help uncover that. Yeah. But you guys we talked about it earlier, you're in month 3 of operation. Let's dive into the journey. Give us a little bit of a snapshot. What does your active clients look like? How many weekly billable hours are you guys at right now?
Mm-hmm. Drew and I were just looking.
Yeah, we're reviewing things. We have 8 active clients right now, and it's kind of wild to think we'll be billing just a little north of 400 hours a week. The month of
starting
June,
next week. Yeah,
the month of June. So it's a little preemptive, but we'll bill a little shy of 2,000 hours.
Wow. Did you guys anticipate this kind of growth?
No.
Was this on your radar?
No. We were actually, since we're new and, we worked through the loan stuff and approaching the bank, we had to come up with, what's our projections looking like? And whenever we had built that out, we're kind of where the projections were saying we'd be in a year and a half. So the reality so far has been a lot different than our expectations with that.
And obviously, home care has an element of attrition to it. Mm-hmm. And there's a couple of steps forward and a couple of steps back. But what do you attribute this early success ultimately to? Being involved in Denton, Texas before you opened up this business and having roots there? Is it just your ability to go out and connect in the community, your previous experience in your occupations? What do you attribute the early success to?
It's a mix of being very involved in Denton that has definitely gotten us some of our
word of mouth has been huge for us right here at the beginning, yeah.
But I would give a huge portion of it to actually the Preferred Care at Home franchise family. So we were working with a lot of the other owners and even working with corporate to help set us up. So we got a lot from paid leads that we were actually other owners told us to do that to start, mm-hmm. just to get some reps in, learn how to have a client, learn how to lose a client. Mm-hmm. And that actually resulted in some really big ones for us. And then help from Emily with our online presence, mm-hmm. actually generated our biggest client right now is through our Facebook. So it's we got some from Denton, but then Preferred Care at Home has actually put us in a position to get a lot of these big ones.
As well as support group. Even Ricky Green, I would say, helped me tremendously understand or set some expectations on what we need to prepare ourselves for, kind of what we need to know, and little things that you might never think about as well. So just a lot of help for
I think, go ahead.
It's
Drew.
so shocking is my background coming from being in the marketing world for a long time and putting in a lot of the hours and the understanding of you got to put in the work, make the connections. I would have never thought month 3 and we have a client because they found us on social media and they Googled us and they saw us come up first and were like, these people look really good. I want to reach out to them. And
Yeah.
actually converting into a client. That's something I thought was going to happen a ways down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's I want to gas you guys up a little bit too, though, because I think one thing you did that not every owner does is you got into your office and you said, we're going to do an open house. We're going to do a launch party and we're going to invite everybody that we know. We're going to invite the businesses near us. We're going to have balloons up. And if 13 people show up or 30 people show up, we're still going to do it. And I think that's the mindset of owners you got to have if you want to take off the way you guys did. And I think it just transpired to all the different areas of the business is we're going to go all in, from opening up the office, from caregiver recruiting, from marketing. And I think that's an early indicator on success that we see. So looking back to the week before training, what were your which wasn't that far ago, like a long time ago. So what were your expectations of the business and how has that changed now that you guys are in month 3 of operation?
At least from my standpoint, everything that I had gotten so far from the business was like the PKU. So, which just like scratches the surface and preps you for class. So, I mean, I felt just going into it, like just in over my head. I was like, this is a whole new world.
Yeah.
Business ownership. Like, it's like every time I watched a new video, it was a new unknown. And it was like just enough to not let me like know what, like be comfortable with like the lesson of it.
And then training made it feel even more real, made us a little bit more familiar with things that we had no clue about. And then coming home and jumping right into it, I think our expectations were, well, going back to how quickly things have just taken off, we didn't expect that. So expectations immediately flipped for us when we really just moved into our office and got going.
Yeah, and I think we might get into this a little bit later, but Drew and I were talking about how we initially had we thought that each of us would have a specific position.
Oh yeah.
And that has not been the case. No. We're just really just getting everything done.
Well, even in training, you guys hit that really hard, finding your hat and what hat you're gonna wear, and I feel like you guys address us 3. Maybe even a little bit more because there's 3 of us, and so you guys were wanting to know
who's gonna do what.
You guys maybe need to figure that out before you get back, and I would say we still haven't figured it out.
Yeah, it's coming out of class and like Joseph said, diving into PKU and trying to learn as much as you can that's tangible and what operations are really going to look like. You know, I thought it was going to be a lot slower of a teeter upwards. And our reality is we felt like kind of just dropped into the jungle and you're like, figure it out. Here we go. And it's just getting through. And it's a chaotic good, which has been really nice with having the 3 of us. And we're figuring out the hats and how can we divide and conquer and figure out how are we going to fix this problem? How are we going to take this on?
There's a lot of firsts, right? And so you're dealing with, you're overcoming real time with, this is my first time doing a caregiver interview. This is my first time scheduling. It's my first time running payroll. Hey, this is my first time dealing with a call out and those interactions with the clients and the caregivers, right? There's a lot of firsts that you guys have experienced in an extremely short window. And the good thing about senior care is there's really nothing new under the sun. And so you guys are getting those reps in, and you're just going to become even better and better at solving these issues as they arise and problem solving, which I know you guys are already doing a fantastic job. And so transitioning into home care, none of you guys have healthcare experience or home care experience, I should say. What did it feel like learning the new language of senior care? Which I know a lot of potential buyers or in people interested in entering into the senior home care industry, the question is, do I need to have this experience? Is it going to be over my head? So what was that like, learning the concept of healthcare and like you tell your friends, listen, I'm opening up my home care industry, and they're like, you're doing what? Right? And so how has that been, learning the language of senior care?
It's been hard from my standpoint because I do have a medical background, to like kind of separate myself from the health lingo, whenever it comes to our stuff, not whenever we're talking to like potential partners, but like not referring to clients as patients and not like being too focused in on like what can we do like medically for them. It's like, no, we're trying like that's important, but like we're just there to make sure that grandma's okay. It's definitely been a little difficult to do with that background, but I don't think you need to have a home care background to get started. Like if you are compassionate and you want to see somebody, like if you have it in your heart to take somebody under your wing and take care of them, that's really all it is. That's you're equipping yourself to do that at scale.
Yeah, I think it's repetition as well. Just not having a background whatsoever. Just the repetition of, once you do know the correct lingo and terminology, then you know what to say to the next person, and it gets easier and easier. And just the correct things to say.
Kind of like what you spoke on. It's that first. You have a lot of first, and a lot of our lingo and knowing how to communicate. It is a little scary trying to figure out, okay, how should I be addressing this? What specific verbiage should I use? Then you do it once, and you're like, oh, that wasn't too bad. This isn't that hard. Okay, I can understand it. It was like, if your heart is in the place of like, I'm here to serve and help the elderly community and our clients, I think that desire kind of steers you away from being too afraid to kind of grasp and figure it all out.
You have no choice but to learn it.
Yeah.
You just,
No matter how nerve-wracking it is.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good word that you use, nerve-wracking. And it's funny because this has been a topic of conversation for the last 2 days that I've had in my meetings. Was as nervous as maybe you are to handle that first inquiry or prospect call outbound, the family member is even more nervous because they're dealing with something they have no idea how to deal with, which is an aging loved one, a parent or spouse, right? And they're looking for answers. They don't know if they're calling the right place. They don't know if you can help them. They don't know what questions to ask, and they're overwhelmed. And so it's like really, really hard, but you have to get outside your own head, especially early on, and realize the moment you dial that phone number or you receive an inquiry call, you are immediately the expert, whether you realize it or not. Like, you are the expert. So get out of your own head, realize that you've gone through the training, you have the resources, you have the support. And I have to say, you guys are being open and honest, which I love, but I know that's something you've done because that's the only way we can attribute to the early success you've seen, where families have entrusted loved ones with you at a rate that's extremely uncommon, just frankly speaking.
Yeah.
2.5 months into operation at, what do you guys, roughly 2,000 billable hours for a month? Is that right? Is that number correct? Close?
It'll be a little under that, but it's getting close. Probably after next.
Fantastic. So walk me through some of the early challenges that you've seen, as well as maybe some surprising successes. And we've talked about maybe the growth being surprising, but what are some of those early challenges that you thought, no, we're good here, that you realize is rearing a different head than you originally thought?
Whenever we first got back from training and we were just so ready to go, like we had our hierology ready, we got our license at training, so we were just like so ready. We went ahead and hired some caregivers, and then we did our access care, and then it wasn't until after that we were like, oh, now like we have to figure out how to do billing collect, and now we have to figure out like, oh, we don't have a payroll company, and like we're getting calls by our caregivers like every day, like, when are we getting a client? Like, do you have one yet? Can we start? And I'm like, I don't even know how to pay you yet. You gotta hold on. Like, we kind of just jumped the gun a little bit there, and it was such a challenge to like. That's part of the learning curve. It's like you don't know whenever you first, at least from us, like we're not businessy people, so we didn't know we had to have separate services for all of this, and it caused that weird gap where it's like, oh, we can't, like we want to grab a client, but if we do. It'd be like, can you start in like a month while we figure out how to be a business?
Yeah.
That was kind of my early challenge. that I
Yeah,
saw.
it was an awkward kind of growing pain feeling of being told like, here's what you guys need to start doing and here's how you can start everything, but then what do we do? And now we're at like kind of a standstill until we figure this out. All at the same time, we're learning how to do each of these things for the very first time. So it's really just like, yeah, with the caregivers especially, it was such a weird feeling hiring. I mean, we probably hired 10 caregivers before we could pay
think we
them
had
or have a
10.
client. And I mean, yeah, they were
were ready to
hungry for
work.
work, and so just the calls were like, yeah, we are getting new clients, like we'll be reaching out soon. So that part was challenging for me to, not be able to provide them with work right off the bat.
Yeah.
We're actually still using them too, which is
It's
surprising. I
shocking.
thought they would have left
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
But
The early challenge. I think it's kind of hard. We are about 70-ish days into it, and so it still feels early to me. In a sense, it's learning. One, we had jumps and got those caregivers on, and now we're at the point where you got to figure out how to find a reliable caregiver who has that compassion that you can count on and isn't going to cause you headaches when it comes time to actually serving your clients.
Yeah.
And learning how to navigate that, it's definitely been the challenge.
Yeah, from our first hire to now, our whole process has changed tremendously, and I feel like I've personally learned so much about interviewing and really digging deep and seeing who's going to be that reliable person for us, because it wasn't like that at the beginning.
Yeah, the thing that I think you guys originally started with, which was like hurry up to wait around. Like it's like you hurry up and it's like, oh, well, first you got to do this and you got to wait a couple of days for that to get connected, and then you do this, and there's this, you can't do anything until you get your license, and once you get your license, you got to set up this, but you got to set up that before you do that, and it's something that from 5 years from now you won't remember, but I think it's awesome that that's so real for you guys at this moment of like, hey, that was a real obstacle that like kind of like slowed us down a little bit and like created maybe some stress. We had caregivers calling like, hey, when can I get work? You're like, well, we got a lot of things we got to set up first.
Right.
That's awesome.
And
It's funny. I mean, it's funny looking back.
to add like insult to injury a little bit, God like kind of put a carrot on a stick in front of us. It was like one of our first weeks, and we didn't have payroll or anything set up yet, but we had the caregivers, and Drew got a call for a live-in case, and they're like, hey, we need it to start on Monday, and we were like, we got to get this going now.
We got.
And we couldn't take it, unfortunately, but it was kind of like that, like
So sad.
little dagger in the heart, but kind of that motivational, like, if we get everything set up, I think we can get a client. Like,
That's awesome. Were you able to, was that, okay, actually that's a good segue. So let's talk about the very first client you did sign up. Where did that lead come from? And how did it feel knowing all the setup you guys had to do, the training classes, you guys went through all the onboarding to move from planning the business to like, we're doing this now. Like, this is real.
yeah.
What was that feeling like? And where'd that lead come from?
It came from a family friend through the video that y'all posted of Morgan that we posted on Facebook. They had called, said like, hey, like, Dad's not doing good, and we really need some help. And then like a day later, like, oh, never mind, he's getting put on hospital. And then a week later, hey, we actually need a caregiver. Can you guys come out like today? And we just remember like Drew and I were nervous. Like we were getting all of our forms in order. Drew was like, you focused so much, like got all of our like, HIPAA form, valuable inventory, and the CSA already. And we just remember going out there. It was great to meet the client, meet dad, go over everything. But we were also just like my hands were all clammy. I don't know about yours.
Very nervous. Yeah, it's the first time ever handing, especially your first client, your service agreement, and trying
Oh, and she poured over it too.
Yeah.
And we were like, "Don't ask us anything. Like we know how it works." The jargon can be hard to.
Yeah, and then
You're like, please don't ask me any questions about these clauses. I have no idea.
yeah, and also like going through some of the things, the protections for us, and like explaining why we have to have them set up, and just looking at the client's face, just waiting to see how they react. It's just a little nerve-wracking. But the feeling, when they're like, "Oh yeah, everything's good. We want to start care," that feeling was tremendous.
Yeah, and they
It
just
was-
about cried whenever we were like,
Yeah.
we let them know, like, "Hey, you're actually our first client." We just,
Like,
and
yeah,
they like teared up and stuff, and it was like this sweet
such
moment.
a sweet moment. It was
That
great.
is so cool.
Yeah, it was a family that we've known for a long time, and being able to share that as new business owners, and them seeing us now we're
Yeah.
grown and
Yeah,
But
actually helping them.
even then, I would say it didn't feel real. Like, oh, now we're actually going to be taking care of them.
well, we
Oh, yeah. Then it's like, wait.
the approach of like we will take anything for our first case, and it turned out to be like a once every other week, 4 hours, and they were like, we need a male caregiver, and we had one, but he needed to be driven, so we were driving our first caregiver to our first client like
Picking him
every
up.
other week. Like Morgan would
30-minute drive.
I would drive him in the morning, and Morgan would go pick him up in the afternoon.
Oh, this is amazing.
It was just like we were like, this is a fitting start.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we made it work though.
Yeah.
That is so cool. I think you guys are the coolest. I gotta be honest. We got a thing here. We call you guys the Denton dogs, obviously, and I think you guys are the coolest. I want to move to Denton and I want to work in that office with you guys.
Please do.
Come on now. Come on. Okay, so a lot of people say, and I want your opinion on this, getting clients is easy. Caregivers are hard. In your first 90 days, have you found that to be true? Like the industry is setting a standard that like the clients are there, the workers are not. What has been currently your most successful way of finding caregivers ultimately in the early days?
Yeah.
That's like a 2-part question or 3.
I mean, we've had our not struggles, but both can be difficult at times, clients and caregivers, whether that's communication or issues arising and having to really communicate with them on how to fix that issue. But finding caregivers at the beginning, it was almost easier then because we just needed employees, and we were hiring, I think, just based on a few, or
on a pulse, that they had a pulse.
pretty much. Yes, pretty much. To be honest, and now, man, we've learned so much. We've really added some questions to the interview that we found just really important for them to answer truthfully. And I just feel like we've learned how to read them a little bit more during that interview, and even the initial phone screening. I think just finding different things to ask them where we would know who will work in this situation, who's going to be reliable. Do you share the same passion as we do for this business? Because we want our clients to see that. So we've learned some things to ask them now that I feel like have provided us, those true, reliable caregivers. But it's been a growing process for sure.
As far as like finding the caregivers, though,
Oh, yeah.
I've been shocked as like Indeed has been, I think, our source to be able to actually find
sponsored
caregivers.
job posts has been huge for us.
In our market, we're fortunate that I think they're around and they exist.
Yeah.
They all are kind of looking for work and they need work. And I think it's kind of up to us to figure out, like, if we need the employees, we know the avenue to take. It's just turning it on and going through the work of actually getting them on with us, and like Warren was talking about, finding those good caregivers that you want on your team.
When we've done our first referral through one of our favorite caregivers, she referred us to somebody she knew that was a caregiver, and we were like, look, if she's anything like you, like, let's give her an interview. And she's
like,
already shown up.
Yeah, she's awesome.
So we'll probably be using
amazing.
that route a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you found it to be true that though it's more difficult to find quality caregivers than it is clients, or would you not say that in your first 2.5 months?
I think so far. I think it's hard to actually put a pin on that, because like a really good client might take 4 good caregivers. So you might be able to find a caregiver as fast as you can find a client.
Yeah.
But you need like 5 good caregivers ready for them.
Yeah. You know, this business it's a funny way of like grounding you to it. So do you guys have a story in the first, under 90 days of your operations where, and I think you guys already shared it, but maybe you have another one where you saw your services making a difference in the lives of maybe one of your clients or your caregivers? I love the story of you sharing, like, you told them this is your first client and they got teary-eyed and you guys got teary-eyed. You realized, man, this is a needed service. But is there anything else that you guys have, even in just the short period of time of operations, that you could share?
I think there's one client that we have that, it's amazing where he is in life and the things that he's achieved. And, it's giving him, his personality we saw shift and change dramatically when we were able to get him in home and remain at his home.
Out of assisted living.
Yes, and outside of a facility, and kind of like these are his wishes and what he is desiring. And hearing stories from the family of kind of how his personality shut down and he's quiet, he wasn't talking to anyone.
He called the place a tomb.
Yeah, and we got him in home and we got consistent care in place, and anyone can walk up to him now and he'll have any conversation you want.
He lights up whenever, even if we bring a new caregiver in, he's just like...
He's so excited to meet him, and...
He's got jokes.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
He's a lot. He's just a lot.
Oh, it was so funny. I brought him a new caregiver the other day, and she was kind of shy standing next to him, and like he's like 100, but he like looks over, he's like what you see? He's so different than how he was before.
And you get to see, like we always talk about, how seniors prefer to remain at home, and losing their independence is their greatest fear. And these are all talking points, right? And we try to share with you. It doesn't really hold a ton of weight until you see it in person, but you guys are getting to experience the power of the care. And that's what makes like the tough days worth it. Really, is the truth. Let me ask you guys something. We're only 2.5 months in. You've had a lot that you've had to experience early on. How has your confidence grown since starting?
I mean, this is huge for me because just coming from being a stay-at-home mom, not having a background in this, having to learn how to literally be a boss to these caregivers is something... Like, I can't believe I can even say that that's what I'm doing right now. Like, even in training, getting up, speaking in front of the training class and sharing, going through the brochure, sharing our testimonies and everything like that, that was already a huge obstacle that I feel like we all overcame together. But yeah, confidence has grown immensely since just taking on the role of, recruiting and
Well, now you
being
live.
being an entrepreneur.
But when we're out, she will like seek out and go talk to the owner of the business if she can find them. Like something that wouldn't really
Yeah,
happen.
it's just, yeah, something has overcame me.
I love it. So
But it's
good.
just, yeah, I love what we're doing, so that's, I can't wait till I can do more networking because I feel like my confidence, speaking, connecting with other business owners is what I'm excited to do. And yeah,
It's for confidence wise. It's well. I remember, yeah, that 60 days ago, the thinking of the potential of going into a new client's home and doing an assessment, kind of figuring out what that care plan needs to look like. And that thought was just daunting in a lot of ways. And it's funny now, I feel the confidence is like throw me in any wild home situation. The reps that I've gotten in the last 60 days, it's like it put us in a facility, put us in a crazy home dynamic situation. It'll be fine. Navigation is yeah, we're equipped now. It's not going to be a problem. Like, oh, there's something crazy going on. Okay, I don't care.
I was gonna say,
I can help you out right now. I know what you need.
even those confrontational phone calls, it's almost like second nature now to then, yeah.
It's two things that's happened with your guys' office that you've got to experience in a really short window that I said in the intro that takes many people a year to ultimately experience. It's one, you had to get a lot of your first reps that you guys have overcome, again, in a very short period of time. But again, there's another element that you guys have seen, and whether you realize it or not, you guys have dealt with things that you didn't know you're going to have to deal with, right? So it's like it caught you by surprise, like, how do I deal with this situation? I'm not sure. We're going to have to figure it out. And now you have confidence of the unseen, right? Like, hey, if whatever is thrown at me, I've handled that type of situation before. I can handle it again. So it's not only the obvious I'm capable, but even if something comes up that I'm not aware of, I've already overcome that 7 different times in the past. I'm going to be able to find a way and be able to overcome that. So it's like you got the reps and you've got the experience of overcoming the unexpected, and I think that is something that takes owners a long time to get to a place that you guys are currently. So kudos.
Thank you.
you.
We're very
Yeah.
very fortunate
We really
to
are.
be
So-
where
This is something, Morgan, I think you talked about, or actually, Joseph, it was you, one of you two. You said, listen, at training class, you guys were like, what hats are you guys going to wear? What hats? And it's been just moving around. You guys are kind of all filling in the gaps here and there. And ultimately, with the quick growth, it's probably something you've had to do. But is there something that a part of the operations that you've ultimately fallen in love with, and you're like, man, this is fun, and I enjoy this part of the business? What would that be for each one of you?
Connecting with people. And for me, it started with the caregivers, obviously, calling them and then interviewing them. And I realized, we do virtual interviews, but seeing them face to face, getting to know them has been easily my favorite part. And then more recently, I've been able to go into clients' homes and, help them out with some things and introduce the caregivers to them on the caregiver's first shift. So that kind of being personable like that it's definitely like where I find myself like leaving and feeling my heart is just like soaring.
Well,
So,
Morgan, you are in the right business because this is just about connecting with people. That's it. So that's amazing. That's so awesome.
I think I really like it's kind of in line with like the marketing, but like the search for clients, like just being able to like get them on the phone. If like that, it feels like a game in a way, like especially with leads, but it's like getting them on the phone and like getting to get to go to like a skilled nursing facility to partner and stuff. Like that portion is something that's really like started to be fun to us because it is a challenge. Like you never know how people are gonna react to you. Maybe their phone's been blowing up with all these other agencies and they're getting ready to just like tear you a new one. But being able to like I feel like Drew and I feel like are pretty good. Like if we can get in there like we can kind of be a little bit like a calming presence and actually
Totally.
have a conversation and get it going.
See, that's where I can't relate. Like, this is so. Joseph will say this over and over again. Like, it feels like a game to me. Like, I just need to be the first one to answer the phone, like, to make that connection with them. And I'm like, I can't get on board with that, like, stress.
But that's okay. You need a different person. That's
I know.
amazing.
I definitely share what Joseph said a lot. It kind of does, some aspects of this business can kind of feel like a game, and that does make it interesting. It does make it fun. I think, I don't know if it's just background, but something that's kind of fun for me is solving the client's problems. Like they're so worried about something, or something seems like such a big issue, and being able to kind of talk them through it and be like, this isn't really a problem. It's gonna be okay. We can solve this issue. I'll help you navigate it. Stop overthinking. We're here to help. We're here to serve.
He's
I
been
feel
really
like
good at that.
I feel like a lot of the intake process is like letting them know that we're here to help with the process too, not just have a caregiver show up there, but we're here to help you navigate the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I can already see your guys' like job responsibility starting to filter into unique roles. It's cool to see. I know you guys there's yeah. But that's great. And so one of the things that I would find interesting, I mean, life comes at you fast. You guys have grown quickly, had to do a lot of different things. But if you were to go back in time to, let's talk about 6 months ago when you guys signed the franchise agreement, if you could send a sentence text to yourself the day you signed the franchise, like today, you're going to send it to yourself back then, what would that sentence be? That's a crazy thought, right? That's a crazy thought.
Something crazy like.
And then I'm gonna flip it. And we're gonna go back. We're gonna have you guys on here in about 5 years, and we're gonna say the same thing back. But yeah, what would that be?
For something like almost not like too silly, but like it's gotta be wild. Keep grinding. Like that's about it. Like or what you said. Like I would probably tell myself ride the wave. That's what you told us the other day.
Honestly,
that's right.
That's a good one, honestly. Or not to be cheesy, but just like believe in yourself, because you kind of do have to at times figure out a lot on your own, and you just have to believe that you're capable to do it, because that imposter syndrome gets so real at times. And I'm like, what am I doing here? Or how did I get here? Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I do know what I'm doing. I have to tell myself that I do, and it gets me, I don't know, it gets me that confidence to continue on and adapt. Yeah.
Can I do 2 separate sentences?
Yeah.
One is like sharing a lot of what Joseph said is like I would tell myself you've been in the water before, ride that wave. Like you need to, that's the sentence. The other one I would send, like put in parentheses after that, is hire more caregivers.
Honestly.
Like honestly is.
Yeah.
Well,
You think you have enough? Hire more.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's so true too.
Oh my
like
gosh.
whenever you have, say like a holiday comes through and you have 4 people call out and you're like, I ran out of people to call to replace. Like I don't have to do.
I'm about to go work.
The 3 of us were all like at different shifts the other day covering like, and so that's so true. Like have just an unlimited roster
Yep.
to call on.
Fill the hopper for sure. All right, guys, last question for you. What is the goal for Preferred Care at Home of Denton? Where do you see your location in the next, let's call it 3 to 5 years?
Selling.
I hear Joseph, you can't do that.
I think we'll probably be very well established in the next year or so with where we want to be, and we're going to look at purchasing a new location.
Expansion
for sure. 3 to 5 years of expansion, definitely. I think if we keep doing what we're doing, we'll be able to go to serve this community and where we're at really well. And I think we'll kind of have that repertoire built and established.
Yeah, we're
And-
bringing on some help for this location.
Yeah.
We're already kind of seeing a need for that, just for the back end stuff, so that we can really just go out more and dedicate our time to those things, and then yeah,
Yeah,
Growing
I
and
think
growing
I'd
and
almost
growing.
piggyback onto that. Like a really high presence within the VA is one thing we, especially like
community in
North
general.
Texas.
yeah,
We have so many veterans, so that's kind of on our radar.
yeah,
Yeah, I know that's close to your heart, Joseph, being a veteran yourself, serving the
Yeah.
veteran community. So I think that's an awesome goal and can't wait to help you achieve that. Well, I know I speak for the entire office where we feel extremely blessed to have you guys a part of the Preferred Care at Home family. We think you guys have been a gift to the system, and we're thrilled about your early success, and we can't wait to come alongside you in the coming years to make sure that those goals are ultimately achieved. And again, I want to thank you for just coming on the podcast, being willing to share the highs and some of the lows of you three going to different shifts and driving caregivers to and from. I think it's real. I think it's authentic. It's what it takes to be a successful business owner. There is getting down and dirty and growing your business. And so I think I know the future's extremely bright for a Preferred Care Home of Denton. And so thank you guys for coming on.
Thank
Thank you, Ethan.
It's
We
great
really
getting to
appreciate
chat.
it.
Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, hitting that like button really helps the channel grow. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a drop. We're here every other Wednesday at 8 a.m. sharp. See you in the next one. Inside Voice.